happening, good people? Happy Monday. Welcome to this live edition of Herb and Two alongside Tucson. My name is Herb Howard. So we get together and talk about issues currently impacting the black community, talking about how those issues impact us individually and also how they impact us collectively. And along with your help, we talk through these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues, again, individually for sure, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them collectively. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request that you please take a quick second to share the broadcast, share it on your personal page, share it within your personal network, share it with anybody that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation. Also, make sure you subscribe to the page, hit the like button, and set alerts so you get reminded every time the page does go live. Again, this is Herb and Two. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? I'm blessed and highly favored, man. P over there snapping his head like I ain't paying attention, like I'm doing something. But
No,
really,
he reminds me to pan to the other camera.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, when we do the intro, I start sharing the show on all the social sites. So
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? So the way that I ain't paying
Look at
attention,
you.
I just be trying to make it happen fast.
Your reputation
you know what
precedes you, though.
You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes
My reputation does not say I pay attention.
Sometimes
I
we
pay
think-
attention to what's important.
sometimes we think you playing your little bouncy ball game.
I was doing that at first.
Ah, man.
What up, though?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Had a long weekend. My birthday was Thursday.
It
So,
was, man. I said happy birthday, but happy birthday anyway.
No, I appreciate it, my brother. So I just been, having a good time, really. Having a few cocktails.
You go out to your regular watering hole?
Yeah. I definitely went to the Red Pepper on Wednesday. We was me, P, Ron was in there. They all came through. We, got as lit as I can remember. I mean, then I don't necessarily recall exactly when it ended. Yeah, I kind of remember, but not for real. But I know everybody was up in there, man. I appreciated the love. It felt good, and we had a good time, man. So then kept it going. Got to celebrate with my partners over the weekend, and just kick it, vibe out a little bit. It was a good time. Happy birthday to my mother.
Happy birthday to my Dukes.
It's her birthday today.
Yeah, I shouted it out today earlier.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday,
Mama.
Ma.
I didn't realize she was an Aries too.
Yeah, man. April 15th, 4 days after mine.
I tell her all y'all in my life.
Yeah, you're blessed. You're blessed that way.
If you say so.
I do.
If you say so.
I do.
Salute to the kicks though, G.
Oh, you ain't never lied.
Salute to the kicks. I see the Maxes shitting on them.
These joints hard, son.
I was planning on getting them same Maxes. I said when I see you walk in with them, I can't get them now, but
No, you should get them.
I want them. I really want them back.
You should listen. I never do that to y'all. I see y'all shit. I'm like, yep, I'm getting those.
Yeah, I'm
I don't care about you niggas. They didn't make one of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, those fly.
These motherfuckers are super hard for sure.
Super fly.
I grabbed them at Leaders. Shout out to Leaders. They had a little kickback, if you will, over there Saturday. Corey's supposed to be coming through the pod in May.
Okay.
So yeah, man, everything going smooth, man. But I'm feeling good. I'm tired. I told y'all on like the last Relationship Friday show, if you watched it, that my car had got stolen. Allegedly they found it, but I didn't feel like dealing with it over the weekend. You know what I mean?
What kind of asshole is you?
I just didn't
They
feel,
found my car. Yeah, all right, keep it. I'll be there when I get there.
I didn't feel like dealing with it over the weekend. So
Ain't that some shit?
I was disappointed that they found it. The nerve of y'all to do y'all fucking job
The
for once.
audacity of it all.
What? You know what I mean?
But that's the new thing too, right? They snatching vehicles, but they ain't really doing shit but riding around.
No, so they just leave them somewhere where, of course, it's gonna get seen.
Yeah, they might shoot a few niggas in them too. They do
Yeah, that'd be my thing too about getting back stolen cars.
Right.
Like, don't steal my car, slide on some niggas, and then give it back to me.
Yeah, I don't want it no more.
Now, ain't that the car they shot on? Hey,
Yeah, I do not want it no more.
I don't want that car no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all done slid on some niggas, did some wild shit. I don't think that's what happened to my car. I think my shit was some tow truck insurance fraud shit. I think my car got towed from in front of my house. I think they just bust my window for no reason. It's a long story, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's deep. I don't know about that one.
It was super goofy. It was some super goofy shit. Like the day after my car got stole, or 2 days after that, I get like back-to-back calls from some number I don't know, which I never answer. Then I get a text message from that same number, and it's like, do you own blue such and such? I'm like, I'm like, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And so they call back again. So this time I answer. I'm like, yo, who is this? He's like, I'm a tow truck driver, and somebody was driving this car, and they dropped it off, and they called me to pick it up, and they told me to call you. I said, what, nigga?
So the niggas who stole your car had your phone number.
Have my phone number. Called the tow truck.
I've never heard these kind of stories, bro.
I said, hey, that sounds like the dumbest shit I ever heard, and I just hung up. You know what I'm
I'd have
saying?
kept talking.
No.
Keep talking.
That was the dumbest shit I ever heard. I just hung up.
That's crazy.
So then they text back again with a picture of the car. And he's like, I'm a tow truck driver, and, you know, some of the other trucks had saw your car in an alley, and, you know, sometimes the insurance companies pay us to recover stolen vehicles.
Wait a fucking minute.
I said, are you trying
The
to
tow trucks is stealing whips to tow them back to your ass.
give them back to you? I said, hey, fam, no, sir. So I'm like, number one, okay, and this is where it get fishy, and I still have some things to do beyond this with this situation. You have my phone number, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you got my phone number? My phone number ain't attached to my car no real way. Like, you got my fucking phone number. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, son. You know what I'm saying? This don't even make sense. I've had the same phone number since I've only had one phone number my whole life. Whenever I got a cell phone, like 7th grade, that's the phone number I've had. I still pay I still pay for my mother's cell phone bill because my phone is still in the same name it was in when I was in 7th grade. So you got my phone number from this car is fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure I put this whole thing together about what exactly happened. I'm not gonna say it publicly, but I will address it. Either way, my point is, I don't think some young niggas stole it to slide on them niggas. So I'm not that concerned about that part of it. It was just some crazy shit. Like I said, I didn't feel like dealing with all that shit this weekend. I was like, I'm kicking it, man.
No, I feel it. That's still wild as hell, man. It brings up the conversation of like how capital corrupts everything.
Everything,
you know
dog.
what I mean?
The tow trucks are stealing whips.
It's funny you said that. When I think back, I got partners who had tow trucks, and I think about some of the shit they was doing now.
Yeah.
Didn't resonate with me then because I was ignorant.
Yeah.
Chasing money too, and I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
Very little empathy for people. So yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's somebody around my crib that does have my phone number, and I know they into that kind of shady shit. And I think people really stole the wrong car. And I think when he realized he like give him his car back, it's another car that be parked on my block that looks like mine, but it's a Lexus, and they new to the block. And I think he just tried to
get them.
I never park in the front. I always park in the back. I just happened to be parking in the front that day, and I think he sent them over there to get. Hey, it's a blue car, right? And I think that's what happened. But either way, you fucked it up when you had them people call me. You know what I'm saying? Like.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you got it back, though, man.
I'm
it's
not.
still a hassle. You know what I mean?
Shit. I'm not.
Yeah, well,
It's
a
all
lot to
good.
get into, man. We got a lot of rest in peace, man. A lot of people died last week, bro.
Right.
I wanted to discuss that at some levels because I was kind of disappointed in how
What's up, family? I see y'all checking in.
the reports on OJ's death went out, and it just kind of bothered me a little bit. You know what I mean? But rest in peace to OJ Simpson. Rest in peace to Mr. C.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Rico Wade. That was a lot in 1 week for like black culture, black entertainment culture per se. Mr. C is like an icon in hip hop. Had a lot to do with like from Big Daddy Kane to Biggie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt was a lot of Mr. C.
Right.
Mr. C a few years ago got some trouble for allegedly catching some transvestites or something. That became the new news around his name. And I know like, you know, hip hop is a evolving culture. And I know the young people might know Mr. C from the transsexual discretion, but in regards to like his hip hop discography, man, it's like unmatched.
Yeah, nah, his fingerprints are on the history of hip hop.
They absolutely are. And we go Wade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like arguably the Dungeon Family is the birth of Southern hip hop.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
You talk about Goody Mob, you talk about Outkast.
Even Future for that matter.
Yeah,
You know
that whole Atlanta wave.
The whole Atlanta wave is largely responsible by Rico Ray. You know what I mean? So to see him passing at 52, man, it's like, God.
It's young, man. It's young.
God damn, man, we ain't lasting long at all. Even OJ, man, the OJ situation was wild to me because I guess I haven't been paying OJ no attention like that.
Right.
But with Cam and Mace, back to hip hop and how, so influential, with Cam and Mace bringing him back to their show, he became much more of a staple in recent times. You know what I mean? But I had a problem with how American media talked about OJ's passing. You know what I mean? Not even because Stephen A. Smith is an asshole to me.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith had some real choice words that I thought was really disrespectful, man. It just brought in to question, like, the American justice system and how it plays for certain people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We in historic times, like today starts the first criminal case for an elected president.
Right.
That's today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And OJ was essentially exonerated for the crimes of the murdering of Nicole Brown Simpson. But when people talked about his death, it was like that was his only contribution to culture or contribution to life. And
something he was found not guilty of.
Something he was found not guilty of, right?
Your opinions and all that, and everybody got one, that's cool. He was legally found not guilty.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah, like your opinions and what happened and who legally the man was found not guilty.
Yeah, and it just was very interesting to see that play out. And I guess I didn't even expect no different, but I think it's, you saw it with Kobe and they, whatever Kobe's contribution was, and I hated his black people doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe's contribution was Kobe's contribution.
Right.
But Gail gets on TV and says, well, what about the rape?
Not guilty.
You understand?
Oh, that might have even been thrown out. I can't remember how that ended. But
and even still, does the rape qualify the existence of Kobe Bryant?
And he didn't rape her.
My point exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But when you get into that American mainstream media, that's the first thing they do. I talked about it a while ago when Oprah was bringing people to the couch to talk about Michael Jackson raping them. This is years after he's died.
Right.
Like just the dismantling of this man's legacy. You know what I mean? And he was found also not guilty. You know what I mean?
So I think that, like, very few people understand the value in shutting the fuck up. You don't have to say anything. Like, you don't have to say no glowing shit. You don't have to be like, oh, OJ this and you could just shut the fuck up. The man is dead and gone. Have you felt about him? And he was all that wild shit and and what if I did it, books and all, he's fucking whatever. But you could just shut the fuck up. You don't have to say anything. The man is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you are family of the people and you think he killed them, you could just be quiet, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can't improve on silence, say nothing. And you just don't have to say nothing. You don't got to be a fan of him. You don't got to respect him. You could not like him, but he's dead. And unless it was something personal with you, you could just be quiet. You don't have to say a word.
Mm-hmm. But for me, it also speaks to like the court of public opinion.
Right.
Right. And the power that it actually has.
Oh, I understand it fully.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you go like down the OJ rabbit hole, right? I don't have no proof of none of this, but when you go down the rabbit hole, I really do not believe OJ murdered them people, right? When you go down the rabbit hole.
I know you think his son did it, right?
Right. Also, I remember the OJ trial, right? I was in college when the OJ trial happened, and I remember the world shutting down when they announced his lack of guilt or innocence. You know what I mean? And it was a very definitive racial divide.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
the whole trial. That's why it was the trial of the century.
Right.
That's why Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is the rivalry of the century in women's college basketball.
Right. But in context of that, right, just like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese becomes the villain.
Right.
Right. It's always the hero and the villain, and we always
it's always black.
Appointed the villain. You know what I mean?
They do that with everything. Just the word black. Black Magic, Black Widow, Black Cats. Black, you know what I'm saying? Black is always associated with the bad thing, and white is always pure.
Yeah, and it just speaks to the trajectory of how black life is viewed and the hurdles that we have to overcome. Right? We talking about Michael Jackson. We talking about Kobe Bryant. We talking about, you can go down, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are both about to be very, very wealthy people. But you cannot purchase your way out of that imagery. No. You know what I mean? Even OJ believed he superseded blackness. That's where the hook comes from on the Jay-Z song.
Okay.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even OJ thought, man, I got past this hurdle.
I've elevated above my blackness.
I've elevated above my blackness. And you just
There's no such thing,
can't.
Sir.
You know what I mean?
There's no such thing.
Which should resonate with us in a certain kind of way that would understand what that really means for us ourselves. Which means that we should be moving very collectively and very insulated.
Right.
Because this really ain't for you, no matter what.
No matter what you do.
They keep proving it to you over and over
You could quote unquote win And it still ain't for you.
It still ain't for you,
Yeah.
right? Bill Cosby had the pound cake speech. They showed you Bill Cosby. You can treat you like a nigga too. Again, guilt, innocence. That's not the argument I'm having.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it bothers me when Gail, when Stephen A. Smith, when they become the purveyors of these messages. You know what I mean? Like that's some wild shit. And Bruce Jenner had some wild shit to say. Like he texts like good riddance or some shit like that.
Well, it's personal with him. I don't have no problem with that.
What's the personal shit with him?
That was all in that family. That was. I don't know the exact connection, but that's all. They all like people and shit. Like he was around them tough when he was still a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the exact connection. Somebody, Gardis, tell me what the fuck he had to do with them. Gardis be knowing shit.
But even Bruce Jenner punk ass. Like Bruce Jenner legitimately murdered somebody too.
Right.
One of Bruce Jenner's kids is actually OJ.
One of his kids is OJ's.
That's the rumor that the big girl was
some
OJ's
shit.
kid. The one. I don't know their name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him either, but.
Yeah, I don't pay that shit.
Chloe?
Chloe.
Okay.
Right. But Bruce Jenner legitimately ran somebody over and killed him.
Right.
He just paid the money.
Right.
Right. But you did that.
You got a body on your hands too.
You got a body on your hands too. You know, for whatever reason or have it happen, you got a body.
Right.
You know, I just thought it just was some real insensitive shit, man.
Nah, that's
Caitlyn. Yeah, I said Bruce Jenner. I'm sorry. Ooh.
Caitlyn actually did vehicular manslaughter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So maybe she shouldn't throw shade. 100%. Like,
yeah. I thought that was some wild shit, man.
I think that when you hear it from like the Stephen A. Smiths or the Gayle King, like it's so off code, except for the fact that we don't have a code. And Outside Chillin' was just saying, how do we discuss blackness without defining our black, which is the point that I'm leading into now. I would say it's off code for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you feel about it. You don't, code would dictate that you don't go publicly do that. You can shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see some black videos, like be videos of black people doing just outlandish shit. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts. And for a second, I'd be like, I'm about to put this in my story. It's so crazy. But I'm like, there's no reason Caitlyn killed Bruce.
Right.
It's wild.
Caitlyn killed Bruce. That's wild as hell and funny. I don't care. That's a good one.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a highlighter right
I love
there,
it.
baby. That's funny. Got two bodies on their head.
Hey, that's funny. It would be off code if we had a code. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, so when I see outlandish black videos and I think about putting it in my story, BT, what up? I don't do it because there's enough negative black imagery out there. I don't need to add to that. No matter what I think about this crazy video, it's like, all right, let me not put that out there. White people do that all the time, right? You've always referred to what's his name? Darren, dude from from
St. Louis.
Right.
Michael Brown murderer.
Right.
Darren Wilson.
Darren Wilson in Ferguson. You all refer to how they rally around him, even though he's relatively inconsequential to whiteness. But it's ours. Don't come at us. And I feel like if we had a code, it would dictate that you don't do that. I don't give a fuck how you feel about him. You could just shut the fuck up. Sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? RIP or not RIP. Just, we don't need to do that. It's already enough negative stuff on us when the second we show up. Just be quiet, bro. Unless it's personal, be quiet.
In regards to that code, right? I agree with you, right? So if that's the case, how do we stand where we stand in regards to the J. Cole apology and what's happening in hip hop right now?
Huff. J. Cole's huff for apologizing.
That context to the code you just spoke about.
Yeah, but there's no real consequence to that. Like, that would be like saying, how do we feel?
What's the real consequence to shitting on OJ when OJ dead?
It's just perpetuating the negativity about who that man was.
Okay.
That's not the same thing.
You're so eloquent in your speech. Just slow down and listen to your goddamn self. Please do that. Okay?
I'm serious.
There's no consequence to OJ being dead and nobody besmirches his name. There's really no consequence to it.
I view this the same way as saying, like, why would Jordan dunk on Patrick Ewing like that and push him on the floor? Because it's sport. Because I can. I would never advocate for Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing to fight publicly or to even throw, you know what I'm saying, disrespect each other. Like, but he can dunk on his ass in the game for sure. This is what we do. That's fine.
So I've been having this thought, bro. Just because I've been you know, I'm a hip hop fan, and we getting all the fun shit out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this week went crazy. Everybody and their mama went at Drake,
Yes.
right? And J. Cole. Right? J. Cole just becomes a casualty of war. It's motherfuckers who don't even, they just TikTok rappers, and they was like, let me get my shot off at J. Cole. You know what I mean? I just like, that's some clown shit. But for me, what it spoke to is like the level of competition that we harness as black people, i.e., which to me goes back to us not having a community, not having a collective identity, not having a code. So it's never room for the group. It's just me. Right? And when one of us falls, it's my opportunity to stump his head so I could take that position.
Right.
That's what it all looks like to me at this point. And I might not have had this same philosophy at younger ages, or you know, when I was, ooh, look at LL shit on such as cannabis.
Right.
Look, you know what I mean? I loved every minute of it.
That was hard.
And I'm not gonna lie, I love this shit too.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like this shit. Let me not say I don't like this shit. Not because I don't like the energy of it. I don't like these niggas who rap. I swear to God, this whole shit, I don't like it. And it's not because they not great rappers, but it don't even feel authentic to me. Like, you ain't that. Like Drake's record that he dropped the other day, like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this shit is trash. Then I heard the verses like slowed down and what they mean. I was like, oh, okay.
He said some shit.
But just you speaking it sounds to me like the nigga you know ain't gonna do nothing, talking tough on the internet. Like, dog, shut the fuck up.
No, I feel you on that. It don't have that authentic vibe. Like, it don't, like, certain battles were concerning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like D-Block had to talk to state property for real. Like Kiss and Beans had to meet up before somebody died in that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it felt that way.
It felt like it was an authentic energy of, I want to fuck you up.
It felt that way. Like, y'all some street niggas, we some street niggas. Y'all from Yonkers, we from Philly.
It's the pre-fight press conference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It felt like that. Like, hey, y'all should probably cool out. Jay and Nas never even felt like that. But the beef itself felt authentic. It never felt like somebody was going to get hurt. But the beef itself.
I genuinely don't like you, though.
Yeah, I genuinely don't like you. And I'm cold, and you cold. You know what I'm saying? So, like, niggas outside of the Kendrick Lamar realm shooting at J. Cole is nuts. Like, I don't even hear you. Like, you know what I'm saying? But them two, I'm here for it. I'm completely here for it, and I also don't feel like anybody gonna get hurt behind that.
I don't feel like nobody's gonna get hurt. I just feel like it's clown shit, right? And I feel, again, and I'm having a deeper thought today than I even had when we talked about it the other time. And it's because of how it's not just because of how it's playing out. Maybe it's just because I'm evolving. I don't know.
Look at you maturing.
But one,
not me.
It's Drake against rap.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately right now, which says something about Drake.
It's like Killer Man.
Like, who is Drake in real life, G? He has to be an extreme asshole. Extreme ass. For everybody not to fuck with you, it got to be you, bro.
Yeah, but it's just like everybody shooting at the top. Drake been on top of the rap game for a long time. I don't care how you think about him as a rapper. He's been on top of that game pretty much since he walked in the door. You know what I'm saying? Wayne was going crazy. Wayne was like, okay, I'm not really on this all the time. Go ahead, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but see, I don't feel like that. It's interesting that you feel like that. You feel like it's because he has the top spot. Which will, one, back to the argument I was making earlier, like, it's always this competitive shit, like, we can't be here together, right? But that's not even how I feel about it. I don't feel like even the remarks is being made. It ain't just that you at the top, right? Back to Nas J, right? One of the Nas lines is, look who you named your industry after, Rockefeller, died of AIDS, but it's speaking to the hierarchy of where you're placed in hip-hop. This ain't what these motherfuckers are saying.
No, they
ain't what they talking about.
They don't have that kind of capacity, though.
Maybe. But they talking about, you fuck this chick, you can DM in my chick. Yeah. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Your wife sleeping with this. It's some real high school petty shit.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not only is that where they are, but they understand that's where their audiences are, too. It's that real low level, low frequency, low vibration of shit. So that's, if you're going to speak to somebody, you got to speak to them in a way they can understand it. To come in here talking about some other shit up here would be like, you know what I'm saying?
Al South Chester said Drake and Ross is hilarious. I have no sides in this vegan beef. That's funny. I feel the exact same way.
I just like, it just ain't, it's fine if y'all on that level. I think like if you close the gym door and put all the hoopers in the league in the room, I think they'd all go at LeBron. Just because you've been on top for 20 years, they would all come at you. They'd all try to dunk on them and double team them and everything. I think they would all do that. You know what I'm saying? In like a 21. If it was like a V or something, I think everybody would guard that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I feel because he's been on top so long. I think hip hop affords you the opportunity to be able to put that out there if you so choose to, but only if you're on that level.
I think that shit's so huff. It reminds me of the goddamn mayoral election when Rahm Emanuel decided he was gonna step down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When he was gonna run, nobody wanted no smoke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
37 niggas put their name.
37 niggas wanted to be the mayor as soon as he said, I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what's that say? Like, that speaks to the level of cowardice that y'all really harness.
Right, because why you ain't shoot at him then?
Shoot then.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't even like Drake, but I'm at 1 on 20, I'm like, damn, G.
That's why Pooh is so heralded. That's why D Rose is who D Rose is. He's Chicago for real. And so this ain't 20 years LeBron James.
That's true.
This is 6, 7 prime.
This prime, bro.
I am the king. This is my league.
Who said no? Not to me.
Who said I can't win MVP?
Right.
Who the fuck said I'm not the best in the league?
Who said I can't beat you?
What? You out your motherfucking mind. And they played them in the playoffs that year, and Pooh was going nuts, hitting game winners and everything. Like,
trying his damnedest to beat him.
What? He in Miami two-hand dunking on Joe Anthony ass. Like, get your stupid. Who y'all? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, he had that kind of audacity. When outside of Chicago, people was like, that's just that point guard. He like, no, I'm not just that point guard. I'm that dude.
I'm him.
I'm him. And you about to find out. But I'm going at you now. I'm not coming at you later or after you already been wounded and now I'm.
Oh, when I got 20 niggas with me.
Yeah, it's just me.
It's just me.
It's
That's
me.
all I need is me.
I got a ponytail nigga Joakim and me.
And me.
You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's good,
what
fam?
You want to do, fam?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't remember what series it was when.
I don't want to say I don't like Drake because that's not true, right? But I'm not like I don't know. I don't like hip hop no more like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't like the way this is planning out. Like, I do not like that it takes all 20 of y'all to jump out the window, and then y'all jump out the window when Future comes out, you know what I mean, behind it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you had these, Ross and Drake got 4, 5 songs together, bro. Like, if you had an issue, had an issue. Or if you had an issue, obviously you got that man's phone number. Deal with it for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, it's WWE to me. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what makes it all whack. Right? Because hip hop, if we're going to go back to the history of hip hop, right? How we like, oh, this is hip hop. Well, hip hop is also, even though this is a lie too, it's also predicated on how authentic you legitimately are.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all got shit calling people industry plants today.
Yeah.
Well, to me, all y'all look like plants.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Man the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let your nuts hang, man. Be who you supposed to be.
The dichotomy of Rick Ross being known as one of the biggest cocaine rappers, while reality says you are a corrections
CO.
officer. Like,
and you got that off.
and everybody let it ride.
You got that off.
Everybody let it go. Like, you really used to move tons of weight around here.
Drake was wheelchair Jimmy. Come on, bro.
They let you get this stuff off, though.
You played wheelchair Jimmy.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Shout out
man.
to 3D Nati, though. You hip to who 3D Nati is? So she dropped the record, too, and she dissed everybody in hip-hop. She's no holds barred, right? And I rock with it. I ain't gonna lie. She was harder than every one of them. You know what I mean? She meant it. You can tell she meant it.
It's cool, man. Like, 50 came in and shot at every single person. He didn't even know him. Didn't even care. But he got Hov attention, and he was like, shit, I didn't even know 20,000 people knew my name until Hov said, I'm about $1, what the fuck is 50 Cent? He's like, I'm on. Like, if that's what you're going to do, but you better be worthy.
The roles, I have at least a feeling that 50 would engage. And through 50's history, he's engaged.
He's engaged.
Right?
He is childish, too.
Truth be told,
he should really relax.
Truth be told, out of the Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake situation, even though J. Cole's the one who's falling back,
Sure.
I feel like J. Cole physically would whoop all 3 of them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
Well, I feel that way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea.
Drake is getting liposuction. Kendrick Lamar is 4'2".
Yeah.
J. Cole whooped their ass. A nigga to get liposuction don't really want no smoke.
If I had to bet on it, I'd probably bet that way.
Yeah.
But and Drake and J. Cole be hooping you true. I don't think there's any risk of that. I don't think there's any risk of that happening with either of them. So, I like the sport of it, and I hope they keep jabbing. I don't want it to turn into WWE or nothing like that.
It's already there.
Yeah, because what happens in that shit? Remember like Royal Rumbles in wrestling? Mm-hmm. I used to watch the Royal Rumbles, but I only wanted to see Undertaker, Stone Cold, Kane, or Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. But it's 83 niggas in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to weed through all this bullshit to even see the real niggas fight. All y'all stay y'all ass out this. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. We are having a up here conversation. Please do not come down here with your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it, man. But I agree with you. It's turned into a lot of theater, some WWE shit, some fake World War III shit. Real World War III, though.
Yeah, it's a conversation, man.
That might be bubbling up.
Ain't no might be. I've been having this quiet conversation, even on here, about we already at war in World War III. You know what I mean? Contextually, just because of some of the shit that's happening, we got to understand what war is, right? In context of how economies work and how when the money drops, there's a natural inclination to go to war because it's a financial boost to most economies. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the other day, Israel bombed the Iranian consulate. Mm-hmm. Then the Iranians decided, well, we ain't going for that fuck shit, and announced an airstrike. You know what I mean? And what's interesting about that is that, like, when you start thinking about Israel in general, you know what I mean? Netanyahu and our support of Israel, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They've been trying to push us to go to war, but Iran should. Trump just was the last. When Trump was in office, right. He was like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. Right. Even Trump was like, nah, I ain't fucking with that.
He not on that like that. He just want to do his own thing and get his own shit popping.
Nah, I ain't fucking with that, right? And Israel is on some wild shit right now in context, and they're trying to force the American hand, and really they already have forced the American hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Biden doesn't have the political support to stop what's going on over there because in this election cycle, right, he can't denounce what Israel is doing because he's a fucking coward. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Israel is doing some fuck shit. And when you think about what's happening in Palestine where they can't really control Hamas, how the fuck you think you finna fight on two fronts? And this ain't no goddamn small fraction. Right. This is a real army. Right. You know what I mean? And they ain't for the fuck shit. Right. And they've been trying to lay low.
They committed to their shit. Whatever their shit is, they committed to it.
But it's just very interesting to think about being in this election cycle, what Israel and the Jewish community means in America and our commitment to it and the unwillingness to say out loud, hey man, this is fuck shit, right? And we're steadily supplying their ass arms, and Netanyahu is going for it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a very interesting situation and dynamic because it speaks to the politics over here, right? And we've been having this conversation about fascism or whatever and how people are talking about Trump's a fascist. I make the argument that, nigga, the Democratic and the Republican Party are fascists. Mm-hmm. It just is, right? But because of Trump's blatant, outrageous behaviors, right, it's very easy to attach that label to him. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But Biden is, 78,000 years old. He's senile. But the party itself, the concept itself, is about power, right? And when you don't manufacture nothing, when you don't produce nothing, when you don't create nothing, when you don't have no real valid industry. I was just looking at some numbers a minute ago about how since 1979, the disconnectivity between productivity and growing capital for workers has changed, right? There's very minimal value, like the dollar's dropping rapidly. Bitcoin lost a gang of money the other day. Right. You know what I mean? Like shit is happening rapidly, and we, again, I like hip hop a lot. You know what I mean? We all can speak to J. Cole and Kendrick, but this shit is happening too. Right. And this shit has a bigger influence on your life, right? My son's graduating this year, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, like I have very little faith in the American education system. I have very little faith in college, specifically if you're not going to be an engineer or a doctor, like you don't need that shit, right? But I was perplexed. Like, what do I do with my son at 18? Like, he's turning 18. What do we do? And a valid concept came to my mind. Like, man, the Army might be good for him, right? You get to travel, you get paid, you're gonna get some level of discipline out that shit, and bigger than anything, you got lifetime health benefits. So for me, I said, man, that might be a possibility for my child.
Although the VA be fucking vets over real bad.
Yeah, but my dad was a vet too, and a lot of that shit, his last years, if it wasn't for the vet, it would have been much faster. You know what I mean? The VA, not the vet.
I got
Damn, I'm talking about like it's a pet.
No, I'm with you.
But
because we're talking about veterans.
yeah. But it's some validity and value to being part of the armed services for poor people specifically, right? But when I look at this shit, man, we are the first post-war generation. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, then us.
Right.
And we've had the branding of war looks different.
That's what I was gonna say, man.
Right? The branding looks very different, right? But we've also had, again, I said 79, that changed from the economy. So I'm born in 76.
Right.
So the illusion and the mindset that, oh, it's still this, right?
That lingers.
The idea lingers.
Right.
Right? But the kid growing up today or born in 1995 maybe.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? The lower echelon kid, his experience ain't my experience. You know what I mean? He knows what it's like to grow up on ramen noodles.
Right.
Like legitimately.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knows what it's like to live in a goddamn terrorist fraction, because O Block is a terrorist fraction. And I'm just saying O Block because it's notable.
Right.
But most of the South Side is like that. You know what I mean? So their mentality is very different. And now we're dealing with some large scale, this is reintroducing a new brand per se. Right? It's not going to be fought on foreign soil. And I mean, you know, not to say it's going to come here, but the effects happen here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just very interesting to think about.
I think just the way war happens now is so different than the way war used to happen. And I think because of that, it makes it easier to enter into. The direct combat and shit. You don't drop 20,000 niggas off in the forest and say go fight no more. You just send a fucking bomb from the sky or from across the ocean or shit like that. And that's easier to do. Like that's easier to call an airstrike than it is to be like, hey, all y'all go now. I laugh at I'm talking about like the early wars and shit, like the way they used to fighting, you know, AD, BC type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they just literally bring as many people as you can to this plot of land right here. We gonna hand to hand and stab until nobody here no more. That shit was always crazy to me. Like, y'all about to do what? And so the whole idea of winning just depends on who got the most people in this motherfucker. Like, unless you the 300 or some shit. So I always thought that way of fighting was crazy. But even like going back to like Vietnam and shit like that ain't a whole lot of, we don't do a whole lot of that no more. You know what I'm saying? You put some boots on the ground, but a lot of this shit, airstrikes and bombs and shit like that. And to me, it creates a easier entry into war because I don't really got to go do the shit. You know what I'm saying? Stabbing somebody is much more, it takes a different type of person to stab somebody than to shoot somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. And if I can do that from 20,000 feet in the air or however many miles across the fucking globe, yeah, we at war.
But I think it's a different conversation now.
I'm at war in my fucking house shoes.
I think it's a different conversation though. Right? And we've lost those wars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a bean.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right?
We bombed everything in the Middle East for 20 years and I don't feel like we won shit over there.
No, we haven't.
We got a bunch of oil and some money.
We haven't though.
Right.
It's really no gain. It's some financial gains maybe.
Yeah,
you know,
for a few.
For a few, right? But we talking about world war. You know what I mean? Like China is on the brinks of becoming the major world power, like legitimately. You know what I mean? And it's interesting like how they're playing this situation because they're just kind of falling back. So the way America's playing is going to create a black eye for America in the larger scope of international politics, right? And I think when you start thinking about it, let's say the Cold War, the U.S. and Russia, or China and the U.S., like these major world powers, it's like Ali Frazier in a lot of ways. Like, no, we both are capable of whooping each other's ass. So you better think about this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You better really consider what you want to do because we both can
That's when a parlay might be worthwhile. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're getting to a point where, again, we're losing our value in the national space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, maybe we can pull it with these.
Maybe we can smack the
Maybe we can smack the shit out them people. And it's our fault.
And there's different ways of smacking us. I don't think nobody gonna like run up on our military like that. I still don't feel like people want it with our military like that. But there are so many other ways to fight these days that we aren't the best at. You know what I'm saying? We're not the best at these fucking cyber games or some of these alternative currency games. Like, we're not the best at all of some of this shit no more. Even fucking just shit like trading. We don't make shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So if motherfuckers like, hey, we ain't sending y'all shit. We talk about embargoes and shit and tariffs. And like,
we traditionally just kick ass.
They shut down our car industry by holding some chips on the fucking docks.
Yeah, Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan this big.
We got the chips, man.
You understand?
B-Fag got the dinks. Like, we not.
But again, we become so dependent on all them other places, right? Everything is digital, man. I don't understand homeless people outside begging for $1. Like, don't nobody carry cash. Like, what could, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta re-understand how you beg.
Imagine standing outside passing out your cash out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Zell me. What?
Yeah. But again, right, when you start thinking about the new forms of warfare, right? Like, we all live on the grid. We legitimately do. So even, again, thinking about how it could come to American soil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Motherfucker, shut your phone down. 90% of Americans is fucked, right? Your bank account, your credit cards.
Oh, boy.
Motherfuckers don't even know how to. You
can't
don't even
make
know
a
your
call.
neighborhood, G.
Right.
You
don't even know how to get around.
4 miles from your house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It would paralyze these people. You know what I mean?
Real bad.
Yeah, the shit's just getting real interesting, man. Like, it's very, very interesting.
Boosie said America's done, and I'm leaning like that way in my mind. Like, not so much like some doomsday tomorrow shit, but just the construct of it is so flawed and has been for so long that I don't know that it's capable of withstanding such a thing. So like World War I, right? Everybody in America is on the same shit. We riding, you know what I'm saying? Now you still have this is America, so the race shit has always been there. But the divides that we have in America now are such that, like, I don't think we got the unity to withstand no fucking world war. I really don't. And I definitely don't think that we have the ability to fight the war in the ways that it will be fought now. It ain't gonna just be, oh, we got more tanks and we got more missiles. Like, okay, y'all don't have any computers now.
I think what's interesting about that is that I think you give people too much credit.
What you mean?
I think that fear galvanizes motherfuckers.
True.
Right?
True.
And again, I've been saying we had World War III way before this shit happened the other day.
True.
Right? So there's small steps being taken to push the envelope. And again, war is financially feasible.
Yeah.
Right? And we're in debt to the motherfucking world. You know what I mean? And again, it just takes we just talked about the image of OJ dying and how the media had these kind of responses and this and this and this and this. That's OJ. And OJ is in the big scheme of things.
Right.
No one gives a fuck. Right? But same OJ case, right? When they wanted, that was doing the NBA Finals, I think it was. They cut off all TV programming to watch everybody follow this nigga in
the
Bronco.
Hey, they said if his processional don't look like that, somebody missed the opportunity. If his funeral procession
But I say that to say that,
and I don't disagree.
I say that to say that media's influence is amazing. I think imaging and messaging dictates behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We can go back to 9/11, and immediately the Arabs became the enemy. Immediately. You know what I mean?
Everywhere,
right? But I think black people have a very unique perspective in America because we've always been the enemy.
We've always been the enemy.
Right? But I think over the last maybe 1979 since, there's been a new strategy in media, which is why I think what we do is valid. Because this conversation don't happen in media no more, right? Stephen A. Smith gets on TV and shits on OJ too now, right? There's nothing to counter the white narrative,
Nah.
right? So whatever they tell your ass to think, again, specifically those black youth or black young people that are born 79 beyond and ain't opened the book and ain't separated themselves from, or ain't had the opportunity to see Farrakhan on Donahue, ain't have, again, who becomes Jay-Z's black leadership, you fucked. Because they don't have political views. Their views are all attached to the American capitalist construct, which is a white construct, right? So again, I made this argument before that black people have always been the moral conscience of this country.
Right.
We've assimilated, like fully, right?
Yeah.
There's remnants of us that's on the other side of that pole, but it's just remnants.
Right.
Right? The new generation is like, what?
It was quick on 9/11. Like, black people was on, anybody with head wraps and all that, we was on the same thing as white people was on. You know what I'm saying?
Back to Jay-Z.
We on the plane looking at them crazy too.
What did he say to Nas in the beef? Was you trying to kick knowledge?
Right. Yes.
Yes, motherfucker. It's like that's diminishing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Busta, man. I saw Busta Rhymes on All the Smoke the other day. It was a great interview. He talked about some verses he had from Biggie that went at Pac that he would never put out. And he was able to recite the verses, so that was a dope. But one of the things Busta said is, like, he said, I grew up in an era, that Busta's my age.
Right.
He was like, I grew up in an era where it was cool to be smart. That don't exist no more. And he's really only speaking about us, because you ain't, if you Busta, you ain't hanging with Timmy and Bobby. You don't know what their philosophies were. Right? So, and I agree when it was cool to be smart, but when you start moving people away from analytical thought, what the fuck do they become? But mummies and drones, and they're like video game avatars. You tell them what to do, and they do it. And you got to ask yourself, who's controlling the controller, right? So in the vein of, you say that we don't got this kind of unity, we only take the right color to say, motherfuckers, we on red alert.
We going this way.
We going this way. And motherfuckers is going to go.
You right.
You know what I mean?
You right.
They're just going to go. That's a scary thought.
Busta got a tour coming up too. Missy headlining the tour, Busta on there, so is Sierra. I think that's gonna be a dope tour.
What he says, take note. I was at Walmart yesterday. It was no water, no tissue, and no Clorox. Damn.
Yeah. What did everybody load up on for was it the pandemic?
The pandemic.
Tissue?
Tissue.
Everybody was taking tissue?
Yeah. I wanted to have a clean ass when I die.
I couldn't understand that for the life of me. I could not understand that. And I'm very, very anal about like tissue and wet wipes and all that shit. But I could not understand that shit. I'm like, what? Okay. You think the world is about to end? Tissue, my nigga?
But think about that though. Think about COVID. Right? Think about the impact it had on the mind, the psyche.
I think COVID was merely an experiment, just to see how people will respond if we just shut this bitch down. And it worked. It worked well for whoever was running the experiment, not only financially, but psychologically.
I didn't get the vaccine.
Me neither.
But in my household, that was not the thought process.
I mean, I had like 2 or 3 cards.
I'm not going to admit to that because that's fraud. I'm not going to admit to that publicly.
I was going where I needed to go.
I might have been able to move around a little bit.
I was going where I needed to go.
But my point is, even in my own household, that was not the prevailing philosophy. Like, I was the asshole for not going to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't going to do it, G.
But I'm not saying right or wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I just wasn't. That was the point. I don't know.
I don't know.
Therefore, I'm not.
But I'm saying, even with that, in my household, the conflict it created. This is my household.
I could imagine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you going against what they say. We don't even know who they is.
Who is they?
What validates they? Right? Why would I do that? Then, 3-4 years later, we still, like, this ain't public news. Right, but there's people having all kind of responses to that shit, and they're dying rapidly.
Side effects of that shit.
Side effects of that shit today. Again, I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't know.
Do what you got to do. Like, some people had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some people had to do it. Some people wanted to do it. I don't live a life where I had to do it, and I definitely didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it. That was just, it just wasn't. I wasn't gonna do it. But to the point of Boosie saying like it was prep for World War III, I could see that. I could see that just running the drill. Like let's just see. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see. And by and large, nothing really fucking happened. It was cool. It was all right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, other than, all those people dying, which is terrible. Other than the deaths, I don't know that there was all that much of a negative impact from shutting the world down. I think there was a lot of positive impacts for people who made that decision. Talk about the finances alone, right? Whether you're talking about Pfizer or you're talking about Amazon. Niggas been at the crib and everybody having to take dope was financially beneficial to a lot of people.
$7 trillion worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick.
2 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, the fucking earth, self-healing as it is, was benefiting from people not being outside all the time. All these fucking fumes and all, it was some positives to the shit. I could see the fucking lake.
Again,
I can see the lake getting healthier. I can see the color changing in the water.
Again, though, there's two sides of that conversation, right? And that's the totality of the duality of everything we're talking about, right? It's those who follow the information of them and those who are guided by something different. Right? So some people being in the house with their loved ones for a year or 2 years lost their fucking minds.
That's fucked up.
Right? Lost their fucking minds, right? Because most of us are, again, perpetual children, right? So, and the vast majority of us only see value through the lens of entertainment. And when I say that, people hear that as go to the concert, watch TV. No, but our whole value of health and fun comes through entertaining. There is no real internal, spiritual, slowing down. We don't even see value in that shit.
No, go.
So when you got to face yourself, it becomes, it's hard.
Not sleeping is a badge of honor.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's very hard. You know what I mean? Because we live outside of ourselves. In most instances, that's how America works, right? Because you're so enthralled with this, and this, you very rarely spend time figuring out who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? And when all that shit shuts down, even us, we was able to benefit off COVID. We had a humongous fan base. Largely, we grew exponentially because people are looking for something to engage in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because slowing down and calming down is what the fuck do that mean? Right? But that goes back to the whole context of the conversation. You said, we don't have this unity. You don't need unity. You just need fear. That's all you need is fear. Right? And they got some
great
fear
motivator
for your ass. You know what I mean? It's interesting too, man. I saw Gardner's room. I wonder if we can get a call in and put his ass on the mic. I don't know if we can.
Sure we could.
But I've been trying to follow that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've not been trying to follow it.
Okay.
I've been trying to avoid it.
What?
The shit that's going on out there in Dalton with the mayor.
Okay.
But Jedediah Brown has been back in town. And I don't understand how Jedediah moves through these circles and he's so valued. And secondly, he's so fucking reckless and talks to people so fucking recklessly, and how they allow that.
Let's just bring it on the show. Jedediah, why you act like that?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm being honest,
I
think it has something to do with his sexual preferences. If I'm being honest, right? And I think
why are you gay?
The context of that. Why are you gay? I think the context behind him being that allows him to speak in a way. You know how they are.
No, for sure.
I hate saying it like that because it sounds,
No, it's a little
demeaning as fuck.
No, it's a little shorty. And you see him at first. He got a little video on social media and shit. And you see him at first, and he got a little drill shorty. You know what I'm saying? But he shit. When I walk through the ops, I turn gay. He put on his little gay walk. He put his hands up, and he did all kind of shit. He's like, 'cause don't nobody mess with them.
It's wild, G. It's some wild shit. He was on again, I've been trying to avoid this shit because I really don't care.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere, right? It is every fucking where. And he was talking so reckless to somebody the other day because I opened the phone up and he was right there. I couldn't stop looking at the shit.
Right.
And he was talking so reckless. I was like, man, who the fuck is he talking to? But they never showed who he's talking to until the very end. And he was talking to JR. And I'm like, I know JR.
Garden said he gonna call in a minute.
I was like, I know
Then
JR.
we wrap up the show.
Why not turn into JR?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, first of all, he's a character. Like, but he leans into it fully. I think all of them niggas are characters, though. You know what I'm saying? You know the niggas I'm talking about. Like, I think all 3 or 4 of them niggas are characters. And they just lean into the character all the time. And it works for them for whatever they trying to gain, some notoriety, a couple dollars here, like whatever they own. Cool. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Boosie said he could talk regulars because he's calling out truth. You can't argue with truth. I disagree to. Boosie, I'm going to say this. I know Jedediah. I don't know if it's all truth.
I don't even know what Jedediah is saying. I don't know.
And I'm talking about the history of Jedediah. I don't know if it's all truth.
I don't know what he's saying, to be honest with you. So I don't know if he's telling the truth or lying or not. I do know, truth or not, he's a character and he leans into the character every time the opportunity presents itself. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on out there in Dalton. We talked to Gardis about it. I've talked to Gardis about it a couple of times. I still got some relationships from when I used to do the Southland Report radio show. So I hear some shit, but I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. Shout out to the super chat coming from the Culture Seller. Great show, fellas. Happy birthday, Mama Howard. Happy birthday, Mama Howard.
Salute.
$4.99 on the super chat. We appreciate those super
all
chats.
Y'all hit
man.
that super chat if you can, man. We appreciate the help because we need it.
We definitely appreciate the super chats.
Real quick too, today starts the Trump trial, the first trial of a ex-president. For a criminal case. Like, this motherfucker would legitimately go to jail.
Not like impeached or nothing like that.
He legitimately go to jail. Did we live in the Truman Show? What is this shit, man? Man.
Oh, my God.
So if you don't know, man, they started the trial today in Manhattan about what a jury selection is starting, right? And it's a Stormy Daniels case where he was, hitting up with bread under the table. And it's like campaign finance fraud. I think is the original crime they're trying to stick to him because he didn't report that he said it was like legal fees or some shit. Not that I paid off this ex-stripper. You know what I mean? Think about the whole context of that story. I'm fucking on Stormy Daniels.
Come on.
I'm paying off.
Come on.
And I'm using campaign money. This is the fucking president, bro.
He's very much American.
Gee, if this shit ain't the Truman Show, it ain't even, I'm not calling it the Truman Show no more. I'm sorry. The Gerard Carmichael Show.
Oh my God.
It's the Gerard Carmichael Show at this point.
Hey, what the fuck is that?
I'm not gonna watch it, so I don't know.
I watched it, some of it. My partner was watching it, so I'm watching it, and I'm like, wait, is this happening? Like, is he meeting dudes on Tinder, calling them through the hotel? Busting them down, okay, it was wild as hell, son.
I've only heard stories. I'm never gonna told it all.
He's also in love with Tyler, the Creator, on some super weird shit. Oh, it was hella tweak, hella tweak. It's tweak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna never know.
I don't suggest that you do.
I'm not gonna never know.
Y'all talk about the new Diddy lawsuit update. The accuser produced more videos and receipts. Hey, 2 knew that man was going to jail a year ago. I didn't know.
But it's back to how media manipulates and controls, right? Mm-hmm. So it is like little nuanced shit that you can see and be like, uh-oh, this is coming, if you're paying attention. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Y'all, when I said that shit, y'all was like, boy, too, you crazy.
I just didn't know what you were talking about.
None of that shit gonna happen. And I told you, I said, I don't know what they gonna lock him up for. I didn't know at the time. Yeah. But I specifically said Puff going down.
You did. I just didn't know what you were talking about.
Right? Because I'm not, I ain't Nostradamus. I can't predict what the fuck the crime was. But it was little nuanced shit. You be like, why you talking about this now? Because this don't have no relevancy. Mm-hmm. I was when Rahm Emanuel was still the mayor. This is a true story. And he got in trouble for the shit around Laquan McDonald. So he's scrambling, trying to find ways to inundate himself in the black community, create new relationships, and da-da-da. He needs some spokespeople to say, Rahm's cool, right? He was afraid of me because I said some shit in one of them closed door meetings in a room full of black dignitaries that nobody else had the nuts to say. And when that happened and then we did the downtown shutdown, he sought out like who could fucking be this problem because there was only one motherfucker that had the audacity to say something like this.
Right.
So he put me in a room with some of the biggest movers and shakers in the city of Chicago. like white folks, big money motherfuckers, 50 billion a year income for their companies type of shit.
Right.
Man, this white boy's in there talking, and he said some shit off the cuff that had nothing to do with nothing in my mind, right? But that was the impetus of us going to 79th Street. That shit he said. Wasn't nothing happening on 79th Street. But he said that little off the cuff shit, and I said, fuck the rest of this. Why he talking about 79th Street? Right? Which in turn pushed me to go to 79th Street. In turn pushed us to building Breaking Bread. In turn gave us some clout and some political power in context of what they was trying to do on 79th Street at the time. But most people don't hear that. Most people are looking for the nuances of the conversation. Right? So when you start hearing conversation in media and they got little sprinkles of nuance and shit that just don't make sense, if you connect the dots, you can see what's coming in the future. They just prepping you for the bullshit they finna put in your face. And the shit with Diddy, the shit with OJ, the shit with you go down the line. Them people are inconsequential. Yeah. They just want your attention over here while we do this shit over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to add to me saying, because Beulah made a point that the pandemic did have a negative impact on students. And not losing 2 years of in-class instruction, but also the socialization of it, I think that has led to some deterioration with their fucking development. So that's definitely a negative that will have impact.
Be clear, I didn't vouch one way or the other for the pandemic. Yeah. And depending on what side you're arguing from, right, that also might be part of the plan. We need y'all stupider.
100%. I think like. So I'm just saying, like, a few people made a lot of money. So all I'm saying is, as an experiment, they found out that not that much bad shit happened. I ain't make no fucking money. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just made them few more people more powerful. But yeah, I get that. I get that 100%. We gotta go, man. I was trying to.
Wait, Garda's finna call right now. Let's see. He said he finna call right now.
Okay, well just hit my phone then.
Yeah, that's what I just sent him. I really want to hear his perspective. Also, I didn't see it. Somebody sent it to me, so I'm gonna watch it. But Garda's had a conversation in that Dalton closed door meeting too that was kind of impactful, and I wanted to hear what Garda's had to say. But again, like I said, my whole shit was just watching Jedediah. The shit in Dalton and Harvey or whatever is like it's theatrical.
Right.
And I think Jedediah fits into that theater.
Right.
Right. But it's like it's just uncomfortable for me the way he talks to people.
Well, we got Gardas on the line. Gardas, appreciate you, man, taking the time. We about to wrap up when you get done, but give us the latest on what's going on and what your man is out there doing.
Greetings, fellas. That's an interesting situation because Jedediah is just one of many, outside people. And I mean, I'm not even talking about outside of just Dalton in the Southland. I'm talking about like outside of the state. Now Jedediah is from Chicago, but he lives somewhere else now. I don't know if it's Texas or Florida, whatever he lives at. But he's one of many, and I think he only gets some recognition because people in the area kind of recognize him. However, a lot of the stuff that he's uncovering is mostly kind of like salacious, this police officer sleeping with this, engineer, that type of things, and nothing that really, connects the level of corruption that has been happening, in the village, so or even the township. So I'm kind of like still waiting for him to bring something interesting to the table outside of showing a tape of officers having sex in a jail cell.
Hey, man. All right. So ultimately, how do you think this thing ends out there, Dalton?
Well, I would say this: if Lori can do what she promises she can do in an efficient and effective way, Tiffany can be out by the summer. If not, she's going to, if she survives the summer, she's gonna finish out her term, which, she's gonna get elected out next year, in both offices. But
Lori who?
Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gotten involved.
Oh yeah. They the trustees hired Lori as a to add on to the council against against Tiffany. So she's part of Bert Oderson, the original village attorneys, and she basically is in there specifically to investigate Tiffany Hanyard.
Oh, she's smoked.
Corrupt.
Tiffany Hanyard is smoked. She don't want to go toe to toe with Mayor Lightfoot. G, that woman different. This is what she do. This is what she been done. No, shorty smoked. If you say Mayor Lightfoot got anything to do with her being out of here by the end of the summer, she gonna be out of here by the end of the summer.
But there's been a lot of pushback with that because people have been questioning because she's getting charged she's charging like $400 an hour with a cap of like $30,000. So when she gets to the point of they got to pay her $30,000, she's got to come with some kind of report or some kind of movement towards getting her out of office. Now, people have been questioning about why are we charging her $400 an hour? Now, from a
That's
person
what good
who
lawyers
has
cost.
Well, no. Here's the thing, because from a person who has worked at several law firms, $400 an hour ain't shit.
Like
that really ain't shit, especially
really
for a
ain't.
caliber lawyer like Lori Lightfoot. That really ain't shit. So I don't know why people complain about.
Yeah, I'm like $30,000 for a lawyer to work a case for half a year. That don't sit.
That's not nothing. That is really not nothing. She's really giving them a discount if that's true.
Well, we appreciate the update, my brother. We got to run. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in and hit us with the information as always, man.
All right.
That is the good brother Gardis be knowing shit, as he always does, man. We got to go, man. We'll see. We'll continue to monitor what's going on out there, man. Hey.
That's what kind of today is. Hey, it is what it is.
Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's so much going on, and the distractions, right? The hip hop, the fucking World War, Dalton, like all of this shit is like, okay, what really fucking matters in this shit? You know what I'm saying?
The ex-presidents who was fucking on prostitutes. You know what I mean? It's just wild out here at the Trooper show.
It's over.
I'm sorry,
wild.
the Carmichael show.
Diddy and Gerard Carmichael, all that is crazy, man. We got to go. Appreciate y'all so very, very much for tuning in to this live edition of Urban 2. Please, before y'all go, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up on the video. Click out of the comments, hit that thumbs up. Those likes help us a whole lot. So please make sure you take a quick second to like the video before y'all check out. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to all the family.
Share the broadcast on your page, man. It don't cost you nothing, man. We need it.
Shout out to all the family checking in, man. It's always good to see y'all. Q, what up? I saw brother Patah check in. Boosie been in here the whole time, man. Cherie, of course. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Larry B, all y'all, man. We appreciate all of y'all for checking in. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back later this week for a Relationship Friday edition of Herb and 2, and also the bonus episode for all of you official dirtbags that have chosen to join us on Patreon for the exclusive content that is available there. Shout out to Ron, shout out to P, doing all of the hard work behind the cameras. Super shout out to E, just for being E. For 2, I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Salam alaikum.
Happy birthday, mama.
Happy birthday, mama.